Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jerry from TraderThings.com, and right now you are tuning in to the Wolf of Forex. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of Wolf of Forex. In this video, we're going to be going over TradingView and just how to navigate the overall website. So getting straight into it. So above here in this section here, this is where we would search whatever asset we would want, and make sure that before we search, we would make sure that we're in the correct asset classes, whether it's crypto, forex, futures, or stocks. So right now I am looking at the German stock index, and right next to it is the time frames. Now the time frames is really important. This is how you navigate in between time frames. Really simple. So right now we're looking at the daily time frame, and we can just actually toggle back and forth through the week, day, 12 hour, 6 hour, 4 hour. And if you have the pro account, you can actually even save your favorite time frames so that they can be easily accessible here on the top part. Now moving over here, this is the chart type. So I always use the candlestick chart type. I don't really mess with Hacking Rush or the line chart or the bar chart. I just stick with the candlestick chart type. So if feel free to click and look at how these would change the overall trading landscape. So you can see here Hacking Rush. Yeah, so I use the candlesticks because that's how I read price action. Now moving over, you can actually add indicators and metrics and strategies with the icon that is next to the chart type. So this icon, it lets you search different indicators, like if for example Ishimoku, you can easily see it pop up here under technicals. Or even if you wanted to look in Bollinger Bands, you can see here Bollinger Bands, bam, right here. Yep. And under the stock index or the name of the asset, you see all of your indicators populate here, so you can easily hide them, go into their settings, change the way they look, their visibility, as well as their metrics, the inputs of how they read the data, and you can X out here. Cool. And this little arrow lets you toggle the technical indicators up and down. You can hide them, or you can't, and you can show them. So this next icon next to the indicators is the templates. So after you figure out how you want your overall trading landscape to look like, or your chart to look like, you can go ahead and just save it as a template, so that you can always go back to it if you decide you want to change a couple of things around. You can just click here. See, I have a few saved already, a few templates. So these are some of the templates that I use. Some I no longer use. So you can always create your own templates and just save them, so that you don't have to always set them up every time you log in to trade. So that's pretty cool. We have this other icon here, which is the alert icon. I like using this because I set alerts, especially when price starts to range or above a breakout zone where I feel like price action will break out. I set my alerts, and then it'll notify me on my phone if price does break above that range. So that's a real cool tool to use. Now this is one of my other favorite tools. It's the bar replay. This allows me to go back and see how price reacted in the past, so I can be able to back test my strategies and back test setups and see the probability of whether or not this may work during specific session hours. Now we get into back testing later on in this course, so I'm gonna save all the goodies for that lesson. But this is a great tool to use so that you can go back and see price run. You can you can actually slow it down. You can actually so this is helps you jump to it. So I could go back here and then hit play, and then and you'll see price slowly moves because I adjusted the speed. If I adjust it a little bit more, price will start to react a little bit faster. Nice. That's so cool. This is a really useful tool. I can't stress that enough. So we're gonna go back to that in the backtesting section. Now, in this icon right here, you can, after you set up your chart type and figure out the indicators you want, and after styling your background and whatnot, you can actually go ahead and just save it. And when you save it, it's going to keep it exactly the same. So when you log back in or open up TradingView, it's gonna open up to that specific setup. When I mean setup, I mean the time frame is gonna be exactly the same. The asset you're trading is going to be there, and yeah. So this tool right here lets you go into full screen mode. I call this the Zen mode. When you're in the zone, and you don't want any distractions, you just go ahead and just hit that full screen mode, and you'll be locked into your analysis. I use this very often, as a matter of fact. On the left side, we have all of the analytical tools, the tools that we will be using to draw and set up our chart type, to draw our trend lines. And in this trend line section, we have multiple trend lines. We have an arrow that you can actually, if you're doing a video like me, you can use this to point out specific areas and stuff like that, or just to give an indication of where the overall trend is going, if you're going to publish it or post it or send it to whatever group chat that you're in. I like using these tools. And just like the time frame bar, you can actually save it and they'll populate right here, so you can have quick access to them. That's pretty dope. So here is your other toolbars. These are all of your measurements, how you can measure retracements and extensions. I don't really use all of these. I only use the Fibonacci extension tool, so that's why I have that favorited out. But feel free to go through every one of them and test these out. The purpose of this video is just to show you how to move around TradingView, is not to show you every exact tool and how to use it. So yeah. This next icon is the brush. I have the rectangles. This is how I identify supply and demand zone, is through this rectangular tool. There's other tools like the brush, but I don't really use that as much. So yeah. Oh yeah, and I did that by Control Z if you're using a Mac or a Windows PC. Control Z to undo, which is the undo button has helped me a lot when I would mess up my analysis. But here's a cool thing. If you have your analysis set up, let's say you find you identify supply and demand zone, right, and you want to lock that in there, just click it and hit this little lock icon, and this will lock it in place so that you can't no longer accidentally move it. But yeah, you can't move it. And like I said, once you click on the annotation, you can actually edit it, change the color, just like you would be able to do on the indicators here on this little setting icon. So the setting icon really lets you customize it however you see fit, which is pretty cool. This text icon is really cool. You can add your notations to it. If you feel like, okay, you want to add a call out, or you just want to clarify what your analysis is actually saying, then you can go ahead and just add this little annotation, and then type in some pig Latin, be like, yeah, this is what's going on, and you click text wrap to actually wrap it, so that way you can bring it shorter. So that's pretty cool. TradingView is a really cool, intuitive platform for trading and analytics. This right here, this is you want to make sure you want to favorite the long position and short position tools. Now this is basically your long and short entry positions, just to show you, after you enter your actual position on your phone or through your broker, you set it up on TradingView to actually show you where your price is and what the market is doing in your position after you take your position. Depending on what broker you have, TradingView does allow you to trade directly from its platform if you have those brokers that they provide, like forex.com or Oanda. I have forex.com because sometimes I trade gold on there, but I don't really use it as much because I use a different broker, and we can talk about that later in the course. But yeah, if you have any of these brokers, then you can definitely trade through TradingView, which is pretty cool. There's this measurement tool. You can use that to measure time and, I guess, depth or length of the market, just to capture the overall measurement, just to measure overall. Now let's say your chart is, let's say, overwhelmed with annotations, and charts and stuff like that, and you want to get rid of everything and start fresh. Just go down here and just click this trash button, and it will remove all of your drawings. Not your indicators though, just your drawings. You can also hide them if you want to temporarily get rid of them. You can just hide the drawings right there, populate back up, and you have the lock button to lock all of the drawing tools, so that you don't accidentally move everything without specifically locking an exact annotation, which is pretty cool. Just look at a list we already have created. Let's say Wolf of Forex. So this list I already have created here, and let's say that I want to add a new section to it. I can just go ahead and click on this 3-dot symbol and then just add new section. Now let's say this section is, let's say I want to clean my watch list up and separate it from, separate this section. Just add currencies here, right? And let's say everything above this section is currencies. So yeah, and then let's add another section here. Let's say this is commodities. Let's do a commodity section. And then strike this up here, and then let's put all of the commodities in there, like oil too. Cool. Yeah, and then let's create another section. Let's make this section indices. Now all of the indices are above this. Awesome. And that is basically how you do it. Well, let's actually move the section list to the top. Yeah, that's a lot better. Perfect. So now within our watch list, we have different sections so that our watch list is nice and organized. And if you want to create a new watch list, again, you just drop down and create new watch lists. Yep, and that's just the gist of TradingView. Everything else here on this side of the window, let's go over it. So this is the watch list button. This is the alerts button. It will tell you all of the alerts that you have going on. It will tell you all of the alerts that you have active, and you can actually pause it, edit it, or remove them, and it'll tell you whether or not they're still active, whether they've been hit, or if they have been expired. This is the headlines. I don't really look at this because, news and stuff like that, I get my news elsewhere. This section here is the data window. Now this is a great window because as you have your indicators shown in a specific time frame, it will tell you the key level or exchange rate level or price level that indicator is at. So right now, for example, the conversion line it's at 2169, and that's what this blue line is. This red line is at 22225, so that's what the baseline is. It tells you all of the key levels or price levels that the indicator is at, and this is great when you're setting up your entries and your take profits and your stop losses. It gives you a better it gives you a better a view of where to probably place your stop loss or place your take profit, so I like using the data window. I just look at it and I know what my setup is. And I basically place my stop loss above the baseline or below it, depending if price is below it or above it. And we talk about how to use the Ishimoku later on in this course, but overall the data window is a great window, and we talk about more about like how to use it in our trading analysis later on, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah, definitely take a look at the trading window, because this is a great tool right here that TradingView has. And everything else, calendars, just tells you all the significant dates of like economic news releases and stuff like that. My ideas, if you're really into posting your ideas onto TradingView, then this might be a section for you to interact with the TradingView community. Feel free. I really don't, so it's just personal preference. And everything else is just private chat rooms and streaming places where people post their streams. If you want to show people your analysis and stuff like that, then yeah, this is a cool. This is a place for you to post. Again, with how to toggle. If you double click on the screen, it'll populate your RSI, or the second window that you might have your indicators on. Usually it's your oscillators, your momentum indicators, your divergence indicators. So it kind of helps you declutter your window. And grab this and drag it up and down just to kind of like give you a better view of price. If you want it closer zoomed in, then you just double click the sidebar here, and it'll bring you as far zoomed in into price as you want. Auto and log, really, I don't really mess with this. I just keep it on log. I don't really use percentage really, because it locks the viewing window, so I just keep it on log and I take off auto so that I can manipulate the window as I see fit. Everything else I don't use because I don't find it necessary. So that just wraps up this video of how to use TradingView. I will see you in the next video.